Hi, I'm Carrie and welcome to my channel. Today is the 2026 energy reading for the earth signs. So we're going to be focusing on Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Okay, Taurus, this reading is for you. So it looks like you are searching for some sort of joy, happiness. I feel some sort of emotional satisfaction within family or a family unit, people you think are like family in 2026. That's what I get with the starting card. The fact that the reverse page of cups is right next to you tells me that there's a level of emotional immaturity that needs dealing with. Someone who, I don't want to label like the problem child, but someone who um, has so much emotional neediness that it takes a lot of your time and effort. And the Six of Swords right below this Ten of Cups is an escape plan, almost escapism in some way, or you're just trying to find a way to get to calmer waters. Maybe 2025 was turbulent and now you're looking in 2026 for calm waters out of this constant upheaval, out of this emotional, turbulent turmoil all the time, and trying to find a direction that's going to bring peace for everybody. I don't know why I'm feeling this, but when I look at this row up here with the reverse page, this Two of Pentacles, and this 10, I almost feel like there's someone saying, no, this is my way or no way. They don't want to compromise. That's what I get with this energy line up here. There's no compromise that it's happening. There is, no matter what is presented to them, no matter the different ways that the different options that are being given to them as a way to move forward this coming year, I feel like there's constant rejection, especially with the Five of Pentacles that's also reversed right below the Page of Cups. There's a feeling that they're constantly being left out. And maybe you are feeling this way. Maybe you are feeling like you're being left out. Maybe you are feeling like they can't understand you, or they can't see your side, or they're not willing to look at the other side of the coin. I kind of get that here with this Two of Pentacles too. So maybe it is you that is choosing to move away from family. Maybe it is you that is choosing to move away from the values that they have in place, or what their idea of how you should be is. So that's what I get here with these four cards. I feel like with the Five of Pentacles right below that is maybe you've been forced into this position. Maybe there could be a little bit of victimhood here, but maybe you have, like I said, tried numerous times to weigh the pros and cons of this, also to try to get them see where you're coming from, how you are perceiving the situation in one way or another. And I feel like with the Knight of Cups down here is maybe it isn't about this family unit anymore. Maybe it isn't about this grouping anymore and what their ideals and traditions are, but maybe this is about you rediscovering yourself in 2026, Taurus, rediscovering how to nurture and love yourself, because it's the Knight. And the Knight wants to embrace that energy of love. He wants to believe that love is a possibility. He wants to believe that maybe people are good in the world and not see the negative aspects of everything all the time. He wants to believe that there are possibilities out there. I think the first portion of the year is mostly spent trying to regain harmony, because you got that harmony aspect here, but then you've got the Two of Pentacles over here. So there is that trying to regain that sense of harmony from that emotional standpoint. I don't feel like this is financial driven. I don't feel that this is about pursuits in any way. With what I have here in the cups surrounding everything, I feel this is an emotional balance that you are trying to regain, because the scales have been tipping for too long, causing things to be out of balance. And then as the second portion of the year comes around, then you realize that people are going to be, I think, kind of the way that they are, and that you choose to go in another direction because this Six of Swords is turned away from everything that is happening here. So where I said that maybe someone is emotionally needy, that could also be a possibility where you are here in this place of stability and you're trying to figure out how to work with this person. But the more I look at this, I really feel that maybe it's you trying to find your emotional stability. Maybe you're tired of people pleasing those in your family or those in that close, tight knit unit of yours. And maybe it is emotionally exhausting with the page over top of this Five of Pentacles, and that you have nothing left to give. So this is where that choice comes in to move away from this. So you can then embrace that idea of love, embrace the idea of finding love, embrace that idea of loving who you really are. But I do feel with these three cards coupled with this Six of Pentacles or Six of Swords here, that it's kind of going to be a rough year emotionally, Taurus. That's really what I get. I've got the reverse page here. I got the Six of Swords making that choice to leave, to get out of these rough waters, especially if this is someone who is trying to push their ideals of what your family should look like or what your family should be. I think this weighs kind of heavy on you, where you again are trying to people please, but at some point throughout the second portion of the year, start focusing in on what's going to make you happy and bring you some sort of peace of mind. This Knight of Cups is really interesting because he doesn't look like a traditional Knight of Cups here who has that cup out and I feel like they're constantly chasing love. This one has like writing all over him. So maybe this is the ideas of others and what their thoughts on love is, or even part of your story and how you've experienced love in the past. And 2026 is giving you a chance to move out of that story and into what kind of love works for you. So I find that really interesting here. So that's all I have for you, Taurus. Okay, Virgo, this is what I have for you. I've got Justice, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Swords here. And I feel like this is about secrets being divulged. There are words that are said. There are things that get out. There are actions there are consequences for those actions. That's what I get with this triangle right here. There's an opportunity for you to keep these words, keep this close to your chest, to not divulge them, to not share them with others. If you do, I do feel that there's there's going to be consequences in regards to that. I don't feel this is like legal. I don't feel that this is that sort of justice. I feel there's an unfairness happening here. This could be someone that you trust throughout 2026 that chooses to break that trust here and divulge what you've told them. I get that with these three cards here too. I almost feel that whoever is divulging the secrets, whoever is sharing the knowledge that isn't theirs to share, thinks that it's going to get them somewhere in this coming year. They think that this is going to advance them in some way, that it's going to put them on top, that it's going to maybe make them look better in a better light. I'll say that's kind of what I feel with this. The thing with the Three of Wands reversed, though, is this halts any movement forward. And then I almost feel, because there's not much else happening here, I almost feel like if this occurs, if these secrets are divulged or this information is brought forward, or something is said out of turn that you know that you should have kept to your self, or someone says about you that they know they should have kept to themselves, that it halts any progress. So therefore, you're almost like stuck in this repetitive cycle, possibly arguing or going round and round as to why this was done, and at least the first portion of the year as to why this was said, why this was done, why they chose to tell this or you chose to tell this. That's what I feel is happening. As we get into the later portion of the year with the Knight of Swords, I feel like everything possibly blows up at that point in time where there's a confrontation about things that were said. There's a confrontation about things being unfair. There's a confrontation about these words and having consequences for their actions for spreading that knowledge. So there's an opportunity also in the second portion of the year to try to make things right, to whether that's to apologize or to find a way to reconcile in one way or another. I kind of get that here with this energy also. It's not going to be until the later half of the year that movement starts going again once the cycle is broken, once this finally comes to a completion, because I've got the world at the end. It's interesting that a major starts the year and the world ends the year. So that tells me everything hinges on what this opportunity is right here. And the fact that I got Justice, Pentacles, and this Three of Wands, this is what tells me that it's going to get things back in motion. If you confess that it was you, or if someone confesses or comes to you and asks for forgiveness, that's where this opportunity is key in order to finally put this whole scenario in 2026 to rest. But again, because of what I have here, I really do feel like this hinges, this energy takes over the entire year. It's something that someone is going to have a hard time moving past. Whether you were betrayed or you are the betrayer, however that plays out, it's going to be difficult to move through that. And that's why it takes almost all the way to the end of the year to finally move out of that cycle. So maybe this is a reminder to be careful with your words. If someone entrusts you with something, to keep it a secret like the High Priestess does, or be very, very careful with who you choose at the beginning of the year to share information with. I get that too with these three cards here. Be very careful with who you choose to trust and who you choose to share that info with. Okay, Capricorn, this reading is for you. Wow. This I get so many different things from these cards right here. First, I felt like, deceiving your way through something in order to, get what it is that you want. I kind of felt that. But no matter what it is that I feel with the top, the bottom row tells me that there's a better way to pursue things or go about things in 2026. Right off the bat with the Seven of Swords and the Star card. Since the Seven of Swords is over top of the Star, I almost feel like you are feeling like everybody has there's a negative connotation here. I'll start with that. Maybe you have this, just possibly have an outlook of where you're seeing the negative first, positive later, where you're feeling like everybody is, doing something bad, being deceptive, being cunning in one way or another to get ahead. And what I kind of feel with these two cards together is, well, if they're going to do it, if that's the way it has to be done, I'm going to do it too. I almost feel that it's a loss of hope with the Seven of Swords above the Star. That's what I'm feeling. There's a loss of hope here. Maybe there's a loss of hope for humanity. Maybe there's a loss of hope for who you have in your life or who you're surrounding yourself with, or maybe you have a loss of hope of how to get ahead in life, something along those lines. But if we separate them, the star card is reminding you that there is still hope. There is a faith that you need to lean into. There is a belief that you need to lean into that things can get better. And they can only get better by the different choices that you'll have to make in 2026. The fact that I've got the Five of Wands right next to that Seven of Swords really leans into that loss of faith in humanity, that loss of ideal about how people are really being, seeing that negative aspect of them, feeling like, if they're going to be cunning and they're going to be deceptive, I'm going to do it too, which puts you into this Devil card, which is really feeling like a victim here, feeling like you have no other choice, feeling like this is the only way out, a tit for tat kind of thing. Well, this is the only way I can get ahead. And the Chariot below the Devil is saying there is a whole other path here. You have to choose to, I feel, rise above this situation in 2026. So something else I get with this, especially with that Two of Pentacles, which has come up in a lot of readings for 2026, is you have a choice to continue focusing on the negative aspects of humanity, to continue focusing on everything that is going wrong, or you can flip that narrative and start focusing on the good portions that are happening in your life in 2026, the positive things, how you can benefit from those, how to gain more of that energy or bring more of that energy in. It's a delicate balance between that negative and positive, and it's up to you to choose the direction that you're going in. So while you may start out the year feeling like this is all that's left, there's no other there's nothing left to believe in. I feel like that is going to change, flip as we move through 2026 and you gain a different perspective. Because like I said, if I read these two cards together, there's that loss of hope. There's that loss of belief that something better is out there. But when we separate them and we move this down and look at it like this, these cards are showing a new direction that you can go in. And these cards are showing you have the choice to stay stuck. And then the Two of Pentacles brings in, okay, so how do we balance this? How do I balance the negative and the positive in 2026? And that's really where I feel your struggle is going to be, Capricorn, is balancing those negative and positive aspects. Maybe it's the people that you're around. Maybe that is what they're putting into your head. Maybe it is the news or the content that you are consuming that keeps you stuck in this loop, feeling like a victim, feeling like there's nothing better out there, feeling like deception or whatever is the only way forward, feeling suppressed in some way, feeling like you're never going to get your slice of cake, that sort of thing. So maybe this is about choosing better things, balancing that negative and positive in what you consume, and who is in your space, and the mindset of others, and how that is affecting your life. How is that playing into the energy that you are starting your day with or ending your day with? I really feel that here too. With the Chariot, like I said, I feel this is all up to you. This is up to you in the direction that you choose. You can continue that victimhood, or you can choose to believe that there is something better out there in 2026. You can choose to, like I said a moment ago, balance that shadow and light. It's interesting that there's two balance cards right beside each other. So that tells me as the year progresses, you are really going to be searching, Capricorns, for that balance in life, how to balance that light and shadow, because it's shown right here in the Lions, the darkness and the light. So it's depending on what you hitch your cart to, basically, as what you're going to continue seeing throughout the year. But just remember that the star asks you to trust in a better future, and the star comes after the tower, and the devil is right before the tower. So there's an opportunity here before everything crumbles to move out of that victim and into this hope for your future. So that's all I have for the earth signs. Let me know in the comments below if your reading resonates for you in any way. Remember, this is, first of all, a projection forward, and second of all, it's for the collective. So it's not going to fit everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more readings from me. And until I see you next time, bye.